nine to five. Just trying to make a living, Bailey. Getting by. All right, I'll stop. That was absolutely horrible. 9 to 5s. Some people kind of like them. Most people hate them. Let's talk about it.
I know I'm probably just being so dramatic and annoying, but this is my first job, like my first 9 to 5 job after college, and I'm in person, and I'm commuting in the city, and it takes me fucking forever to get there. There's no way I'm gonna be able to afford living in the city right now, so that's off the table. Like, fucking duh! If I was able to walk to work, and it'd be fine, but I'm not. So it literally takes me, like, I leave here, like, I get on the train at 7:30, and I don't get home till, like, 6:15 earliest, and then, like, I don't have time to do anything. I want to shower, eat my dinner, and go to sleep. I don't have time or energy to cook my dinner either. Like, I don't have energy to work out. Like, that's out the window. Like, I'm so upset. Oh my god. Nothing to do with my job at all, but just, like, the 9 to 5 schedule in general is crazy. Being in the office 9 to 5, like, if it was remote, you get off at 5, and you're home, and everything's fine. But, like, I'm not home. It takes me long to get home, and, like, people that drive to the office, like, you don't get off at 5, and I know it could be worse, I know I could be working longer, but, like, I literally get off, it's pitch black, like, I don't have energy. How do you have friends? Like, how do you have time to, like, meet, like, a guy? I don't know, like, how do you have time for, like, dating? Like, I don't have time for anything, and I'm, like, so stressed out, and I'm also getting my period, so that's why I'm all emotional, but, like, am I so dramatic? It's fine.
Okay, let's start here. The 9 to 5 schedule, like she said, if it was just 9 to 5, it's not, like, that's not that bad. It's not. But it's the 2 hours you have to get up before, you gotta get ready, you gotta drive into work, you gotta get into work, you gotta get your coffee, maybe get breakfast, you gotta sit down, get your stuff ready. Like, it's a whole process. Get stuck in traffic. Oh wait, your car popped the tire, so now you gotta, I've been there. I've been there. I worked a 9 to 5 since I graduated college until 2020, until I quit my 9 to 5 and started talking to you fine people on the internet for full time, which still blows my mind to this day. Half of me is just kind of like, suck it up, buttercup. It's kind of what you have to do. And I think that probably my later generational people who are watching this will agree with me on that. But then the other half of me, my inner millennial side, is coming out and being like, yeah, sweetie, I get it. I totally understand. I was in her shoes. I remember I went to college, got my degree, thought I had my life planned out. I was getting ready to marry my wife once I graduated college and to get our lives started. I went through college for 5 years to become an engineer, and I thought I had it set. I thought my life was set up. And I got out into the real world, started my job. I remember my first week sitting down at that cubicle, looking around, and looking at all the 40-plus-year-old dudes I was sitting next to, being like, Houston, we have a problem. I instantly got kicked in the nuts. Guys, I'm not lying one bit. I remember sitting down there and just rethinking my whole life, like, oh my God, I made the biggest mistake in my life. Now, as an engineer, I was luckily making decent money. I think I started out making like 60, 70 grand, something like that. When I graduated. It's like not bad for a 24-year-old kid. Like that was the good part, but that's where those golden handcuffs come in. And I was like kind of seeing myself getting stuck. And luckily what we're going to talk about in today's video is I made a mind shift change or a mindset change that literally altered my entire rest of my life to get me to where I am today. But we'll talk about that in a second.
I need to quit my job. I love what I do. I love who I work with. It's exactly what I want to be doing right now, but I don't have the mental or emotional capacity for it anymore. Like, maybe if I didn't have to spend all my energy focusing on just keeping myself alive, I'd be fine. And I just want a simple job. Like, I just want to bartend or be a barista, but I get paid well now and I still can't afford my bills. So, like, what the fuck? And this is the part of depression that I don't think people realize. When you are chronically depressed, I mean, like, multiple episodes every single year. Like, this is the reality. I'm not doing good at work. I'm faking it really well, but I'm not doing good at work. And I'm definitely not doing well personally. I know realistically, I should quit my job and move back home with my parents. But like, I don't want to sell my house. I love my house. I love my space. I love my job. But it's just not working anymore. It's not working and I don't know what to do. This is what it's like all the time.
All right, so this is the tough part about the younger generation and why some of us get bad reps every now and then. So, like working's not supposed to be fun all the time. I mean, it's not. I mean, find me one person that loves what they do every single day that they do it. It's just, it's work. It's not supposed to be the best thing in the world. Even you're probably, I don't know, freaking watching the Olympics right now. I guarantee you they have days where they're like, this kind of sucks. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. Being an Olympian would be pretty kick-ass. But maybe the practices they have to do all the time is what they get tired of. I think what a lot of us younger people need to understand is that there is a time to eat shit and just like keep moving forward. Like put your head down, keep working, but the problem I think a lot of us have, and not even the older generation probably had the same problem too, but they just probably coughed it up to like, I'm stressed. I feel like that's how everyone operated back then. Like, there was no depression, there was nothing, no anxiety, no medical or mental issues. Like, I'm stressed. Nah, shit'll buff out. So I love about my older generation. Like all of us now are depressed and got mental issues somehow. But I think social media plays a big aspect in this too. Is the comparisons there. Like back in the day, everyone was like went to their job and that was it, and there was no other like oh, I can do something else besides work this 9-to-5 job. I think that's a big part of it. Is people see what other people are doing and the other lives they're living, and they're just living. These people are just living, working their 9-to-5 with no real end goal. I think that's like the shift mentally for people. Is when there is an end goal in sight, when you have something you're working towards, you're not just going to your 9-to-5 and doing that rat race and the hamster wheel, and you're just constantly doing it every Monday. Sunday you got the Sunday scaries, and you just keep going back to your job over and over again. When you have an end goal in sight, not retirement, but I'm saying you got a savings goal you're reaching up to, or you got a side hustle you're working on. And speaking of side hustles, I have a list I put together, guys, of 100 different side hustles that you guys can try out. It's an idea. It's to stir up some ideas. If you are in this predicament and you do want to get out of the 9-to-5, or at least want to have some supplemental income, I have a link down below in the description. All you have to do is click that link, put in your email, and I will send to your email that list of 100 different side hustles. It's absolutely free. All you gotta do is click the link down below and sign up, and I'll send that to your email. So be on the lookout for that if that's something you guys are interested in. 100 different side hustles that can actually turn into a full-time business. So check that out. But what I was getting at is having that goal, that end goal in sight, is what makes that 9-to-5 a little better. That's what helped me out by going in every Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, and doing it all over again, is I had that end goal in sight. And that was ultimately to quit my 9-to-5 and work for myself. Now, I understand some people are not set up to be an entrepreneur, and there's stuff that just honestly just comes with it, and there's a lot of shitty days. You have a lot of ups and downs. But what I'm saying is having that end goal in sight that's key. That is the big key to being able to get through those tough days of the 9-to-5.
I'm only 2 years into working my 9-to-5 job, and this is awful. So you're telling me I'm having the Sunday scaries every week to dread 5 days of my life, to then be rewarded with a little thrill on Friday, but then be so tired from working that I pass out at like 10 p.m. Live for Saturdays, love them, but really that is only one full day of fun, because Sunday, have a great Sunday morning, and then Sunday afternoon rolls around and I have the Sunday scaries and I'm dreading my life for the next 5 days. I went to college for 4 years to be stuck in this cycle. What? No, 2 years is enough. So I'm on TikTok and I'll be promoting products and posting my way out of this god-awful cycle. I cannot settle for a life of dread, especially if they want us to retire at 70 now. No, I'm going to be using the internet because I see people making a fuck ton of money on here, and you can be making a fuck ton of money by creating digital products, selling those, and then promoting products that you didn't even make. So yeah, that's my plan. That's what I'm going to be doing to get me out of this god-awful cycle, because I cannot take another second of it. Happy Sunday, though.
The 9-to-5 life can be bad or good, guys. It can. Like, it can suck, but so can a lot of other things. But it can also do a lot of good. Like, one of the best things that people can have right now is a paycheck. It's a paycheck that comes in every single week or every other week, and it pays for your lifestyle. And the best part about that is you can adjust your lifestyle accordingly. Meaning, if you save your money, you don't overspend, you live on a budget, you're tracking your expenses, you understand what you're spending every single month, well, then you can reach, maybe your goal is to quit your 9-to-5 job, take a little bit of a pay cut, and go do something for yourself where you make maybe half the amount of money, but you've spent the years working on it as a side hustle in order to take over your salary or income from working your 9-to-5. And I really do think a lot of people are starting to do that. The internet is like the wild, wild west right now of all the money you can make. Maybe not the wild west, but you get what I'm saying. There's so many different ways to make money online, and I talk about that on the videos a lot. I mentioned, like, it's maybe not easy, but if you work at it long enough, most people can figure out a way to make a couple extra $100 or even $1,000 a month from the internet. It's doable, really is. So I don't know if I'll be able to keep the music in on this one, but this one just hit me. This hit me personally. It says, working in a 9-to-5 at 20 to fully understand there are bigger dreams out there. That was me. I remember sitting just like this guy, eating my lunch, having my water at my desk, sitting there thinking like, this can't be it. Like, this can't be all that I'm supposed to do. Now, you can live a great life doing this. 100%, you can live a great life doing this. But it wasn't for me. Now, I think a quick way out of this is to not have an office job. That really helps. Like, if it's the office situation, like going in and sitting in the cubicle all day, like, there's a ton of 9-to-5 jobs, or maybe your schedules are a little different, that you can not have to be in that cubicle every day. That helped me tremendously. I moved into construction. I got to go out in the field a little more, and that helped me out a lot. It did. I could do that. Like, if something ever happened with YouTube, or I just wanted a change of life and I wanted to go back, I could probably go back and do something like project management. I could. That is probably what my backup would be, or I would maybe just start a home-based service business or something like that. I don't know. But when it comes to this, if you have the mindset kind of like I did, like you knew this wasn't for you, that is a big, big portion of like eye-opener. Like, damn, I got to figure something out. But there's two types of people. There's the people who will do this and won't do anything to change. They'll just keep going in every day. That's it. They'll never make a change. Or there's the guys like me, or women, that say, no, screw this. I am going to do something to change. I'm going to reduce my spending to basically nothing so I can save as many dollars as I can to back me up if I can, in case I do quit a little too early from making money somewhere else. Or I choose to retire early, if you've ever heard of the FIRE movement, financial independence, retire early. It's a whole community of like quitting the 9-to-5 and living off your own and basically retiring in like your 30s or 40s. There's just a lot of different options out there, and you just have to choose not to settle.
I have been way more exhausted in my 2 years of working a 9-to-5 office job than I ever was in my 4 years of playing college football. And sometimes I think I'm just insane for thinking this, because obviously an office job is physically nothing compared to college football. Like in college, I would get up early, go to work out, go to practice, go to class, work a part-time job, and I still had a bunch of energy to go out on the weekends with my friends and even on some weeknights. And now, fast forward almost 2 years, I don't know what it is, but after sitting at a desk for 8 hours, there's just nothing that I want to do. I force myself to get up early and work out still because I know after work I'm just not going to want to do it. I'm not going to have the energy. And I hate only doing stuff on the weekends. Like, there's a lot of stuff I still want to do on the weekdays, so I try to force myself to do that as well. But for some reason, I don't know why I have to force myself as opposed to when I was even busier in college. And I have side hustles and stuff that I make myself do outside of work, but that's the thing. I have to make myself. It's not easy. And at the end of the week, it's hard because I'm just mentally drained. But if anyone else has recently or, in the past few years started their, 9-to-5 job or whatever, I need to know if you feel the same way.
Keyword in there, he said it's not easy, so it was kind of hard for him to keep doing it. Well, yeah, I mean, most things worth getting towards, or the life that you want to live, or something you want to obtain, most likely is not easy. And I bet this guy gets that. He may have just said it like that, and I'm sure he understands what I'm saying because he played football in college, so he gets it. You got to work to get to be that good. But that's what it takes in real life. Like, you got to be able to work your ass off. I mean, when I was doing this YouTube stuff, I remember working my 9 to 5. I'd come home, and then I'd go upstairs. I'd film some videos. I'd edit, and sometimes I wouldn't be going to sleep until 2 o'clock in the morning. Then I had to wake up and go to my early construction job right after that. So I had some nights where I was, some days that next day I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, getting 100 views a video. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Why am I doing this? But one, I loved it. I'm still passionate about what I talk about. I love talking about money and just like different ways of life and stuff like that. So it excites me every time I talk about it. And I do feel lucky enough I get to do this. But if I wouldn't have kept going for the 2 years of no one watching me, never would have got to where I'm at now. I could have, there was multiple times I did. I quit, but then I told myself, I was like, don't quit. You really want this. I was confident too. I think that's the other key point is like, if you have confidence in yourself and you tell yourself, like I remember posting these videos and watching them and then watching other guys like, I'm watching their content. I'm like, oh my gosh, their quality's way better. They speak way better than I do. And I, just didn't find my voice yet. But I remember telling myself, I was like, it's okay because I know I'll figure it out. To where a lot of people I think would look at that and be like, oh, there's so many people out there doing way better than me. I'm just not even going to try and be on their same page, their same playing field. I'm not good enough. And I never told myself that. Like, do I know there's guys better out than me doing that stuff? Yes, of course. I know there's guys doing better, like they're better at the craft than me. But I just, maybe it's me being completely, I don't know, I told myself I wanted to do it. And I didn't take no as an answer. I was confident. I could picture myself being successful at what I was working towards. And I made it. And I think that's the biggest thing there. When you can tell your mind that you're going to do this change, or you're going to switch a job, and you're going to try a different style of job instead of the corporate 9 to 5 working at the cubicle every day because you're about to go insane, that may be worth it. But I also want to stress, having a 9 to 5 that pays you is a blessing. It's a blessing. But it's up to you to choose what you do with that money. By the way, guys, join the Money Mastermind community where we talk about side hustles and making extra money and also budgeting, net worth track. We have all this stuff going on in the community. It's absolutely completely free. There's a link down below in the description if you guys want to sign up and join the Money Mastermind. I'll see you in the Discord.
I'm having a crisis, like truly. It's like on one hand, I started a new position. Can't say that I'm the biggest fan of my current role. Like, it just is what it is, part of adulting, right? I don't know. You can argue in the comments. It just helps my engagement. But the thing is, like, so many people are getting laid off. I don't know, like, does one take the chance? Does one take the leap and, like, maybe try to find something else? Or do I stay? Like, I don't know. On one hand, I mean, starting over would kind of be great because, I do get yelled at for no reason. That's a new thing that's been happening to me lately. I keep seeing literal get ready with me's to get laid off. I just don't think that I can handle that. Like, what's worse, a boomer boss or unemployment? It's unclear. It is unclear.
I remember being at my 9 to 5. Every single day, I was looking for different jobs. Half the time I knew, I was like, I was wasting time. I was making time go by. I was like, I know I'm not going to take any of these job listings seriously. I even applied to a few of them and got random, interview phone calls for them. It was something completely out of the ordinary, just different type of job that I knew probably wasn't going to work out with my schedule. But sometimes you got to do it. Like, if you're in a rut in your job, just try something new. Like, if you hate something that much, try and go get something different. Like, don't quit your job until you have something lined up and have accepted an offer and everything. Like, why not try something different? Just because you're there doesn't mean that's where you're supposed to be. Like, maybe it was a stepping ladder to get you where you're supposed to go next. And I talk a lot on, like the side hustle side of things and stuff. But for people that don't want to work for themselves and want that reliable 9 to 5 income, Well, there's a lot of different jobs out there that you can actually, as you move on to different jobs, you can increase your pay depending if you're staying. Now, if you're jumping different industries, it may be a little different. But there's sometimes you can go work for a competitor and get a nice little pay raise by doing that too. It's just all about what you want to do. And I mean, everything you do you're not going to be 100% happy with. Now, I will say the 9 to 5 schedule, it could improve massively. Let's see an extra day off in there, or maybe you're working 5 hours instead of 8. Let's be honest. I would love to take an honest poll and see who works for the straight 8 hours they're there at work, or maybe 9 hours if you have to clock out for lunch, whatever it is. Who actually works that entire time? No way. No way is it happening. I remember being like, ooh, I got a nice little poop brewing. It's time to go get paid to drop the kids off at school. But I remember telling myself, I'm like, I can't be excited for this. I shouldn't be excited to get paid to take a shit. Oh, I don't know. Let's finish it up with this one. This guy rocks it. I love this video. A lot of value from this last one. So, enjoy it.
9 to 5s are fantastic. As I leave my corporate job for the day, ending the week here, I had a thought. A lot of us are on here always searching for that next dollar investment, something that's going to bring us back that time that we think is so precious. And I agree. Time is precious. It's the most valuable thing. It's exactly what I'm trying to exchange my dollars for. And build up so that I can have more time. Now, if you're young, here's what I have to say to you. And if you're around 40 and up, don't leave, because I got something for you too. But if you're young right now and you're wondering, okay, where do I go from here? Unless you're extremely entrepreneurial, you don't have too many which ways to go except for a 9 to 5. And my suggestion is find a 9 to 5 that gives you the utmost value early on. And what I've seen through experience is 2 pathways. Number 1, sales. Find a sales role where you can quickly develop and have a high OTR, potential earnings over the year. Oftentimes that happens through technology or finance, but it doesn't have to be. But just study and research whatever company that you're potentially interested to do sales for. Make sure you have high earners, and then go for it. Now, if you're someone who is not as sales oriented, but you're organized, project management, go to, the PMI Institute or even Google, get your certification and learn the terminology, especially if you're going to go into sales, learn a little bit more about technology as a whole and the terminology used within agile and project management in a technology setting, and then go get a job for 90,000, eventually turning into 100, 120,000, right? And start spending less, make a fucking budget, and putting that money into cash flow investments. I promise you can become a millionaire doing this. And if you're older, 40 and up, I'm turning 30 here in a couple of months. So I've went through my life a little bit. If I could go backwards, I'd do it a little bit differently, but I started with investments that aren't necessarily cash flow. I should have started with cash flow investments. So I'm just now arriving to the point where now I'm investing into potentially things like real estate that do monthly income, so that I can start to actually replace potentially my 9 to 5 with something that requires far less of my time than 8-10 hours a day. That's my thoughts on 9 to 5, especially because I feel like I see on here in the crypto community, it's villainized a lot. It's a fantastic tool. Don't get it twisted. And if you put yourself in the right spot, it can be great.
The 9 to 5 is the most fantastic tool in order to get yourself ahead financially. Like he said, live on a freaking budget, spend less than you're making, put that extra money to work. Into investments, into cash flowing investments. If you're investing in cash flowing investments, I love investing in real estate. I have 2 rental properties myself. They're amazing investments. Not only do I make money through cash flow, but I also make money from the equity increasing in the property, as well as the debt payoff that my tenants pay me that I in return pay towards the mortgage, and that's no money coming out of my pocket. 3 ways I'm making money in real estate. I'm getting cash flow, equity increase, and debt pay down from the tenants paying me rent. It's a wonderful, wonderful investment vehicle. And a 9 to 5 is one of the best ways to get started in real estate because you have a W-2 income, so it's going to be very easy for you to get a loan. And you can, if you spend less and live on a budget, you can save up relatively quickly to get yourself a down payment to get into a house. You can do what's called house hacking. Buy a house or a multi-unit, put 3.5% down, rent out the other units or the other rooms if you buy a single-family house to some buddies, to work buddies, whoever it is. There you go. With very minimal amount of capital needed to be raised, you can be into a nice cash flowing investment, depending how you do it with house hacking. But a 9 to 5 isn't always a bad thing, guys. It's not. It can be used as a great tool to get ahead financially. So I don't want to be the one to sit here and say, oh yeah, 9 to 5 sucked. I think the lifestyle could definitely be improved a little bit. And I think as our generations grow older, there's going to be different mindsets, and we're already seeing it with new companies and different startups, you know, the work from home hybrid option. Like, a lot of different things will change, I bet, over the next 30 years in the kind of 9 to 5 life space, I guess is what you call it. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you appreciate it. And until the next video, you all take care. Peace.